We are drafting the most motivated players for 2020 today. Chris, I've got the trivia question for you that will determine the first pick. Who was the last player to win the NFL's MVP award after being cut by an NFL team?
Wow, I'm gonna have to. That's got to be Peyton Manning. No,
you are correct, sir.
Bam!
Manning, you got there.
Bam! Gosh, it feels good to know all the answers. I don't know where. There's two really obvious picks here. I don't know. I mean, I got to go with Cam Newton. I almost feel like it's not even fair. Like we shouldn't even let him be picked for this draft since it's in honor of him. But yes,
so it should have been the Cam Newton Memorial Draft.
Right, it should have been the Cam Newton Memorial Draft. But it's too late now, and I've already picked Cam Newton. So, I mean, Cam Newton. What? I mean, the guy was the MVP of football 4 years ago. Didn't find a team, sitting there at home like, damn, am I going to be able to starting quarterback? Am I going to have to be a backup behind some guy that I'm clearly more talented than or have a better career resume than? So it's hard not to think that Cam Newton isn't going to be extremely motivated. First off, he was cut by the team that drafted him number one. Two, he sat on the sidelines and wondered what team was going to freaking sign him all together. And then, three, it's, of course, the hate of, is it going to work in New England and all those things. So Cam Newton's about as motivated as you're going to find.
Yeah, and he's as motivated as the guy who'll be my first pick, who I think was going to be your co-first pick, who would have been your first pick if it had been the Cam Newton Memorial Draft, and he would have been exempt.
Right.
And that's the guy that Cam Newton is replacing in New England. It's Tom Brady. Tom Brady, in his mind, disrespected by Bill Belichick, done with Belichick, never appreciated by Belichick, ready to move on and prove that he can win without Bill. That's the subtext for the NFL season this year and next year and however many more both guys are still in football. What can Belichick do without Brady? What can Brady do without Belichick? And Brady is highly motivated to show that he can do as well, if not better, away from Belichick than Belichick can do without him. Of course, that's complicated by Belichick getting a highly motivated Cam Newton. That raises the stakes significantly, but I think that just makes Brady even more motivated, Chris.
Well, he's certainly motivated. There's no doubt. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's going to want to show the whole world that it wasn't New England and it's, wasn't Belichick, and that he certainly had a big stake in that, which we all know. We do. I mean, there is no doubt about that, but I understand him being motivated by there, and I'm not so sure. Do we really think, I don't know. Who should be more motivated? Who should feel more disrespected? Tom Brady or, Aaron Rodgers? My freaking team traded up in the first round to take a raw quarterback when I'm in my prime still. What the hell? I mean, yes, Aaron Rodgers is my second pick. How could he not be one of the most motivated football players in the league right now? I mean, he was in the MVP conversation for a good part of the year last year. I mean, he was doing special things. Yeah, leading a team the number two ranking in the NFC, and then to sit there on draft night and get no help and all of those things, and to maybe realize that the writing's on the wall, that you're at a short time in Green Bay. Yeah, it's hard for me not to look at Aaron Rodgers and think he's not going to have a red-hot poker next to his butt all year ready to go.
Yeah, and it's a weird mindset because he's going to be extra motivated to do even better while also thinking if you guys had just drafted a receiver with the first-round pick or the fourth-round pick you used to move up in round one or both, it would be even easier for me to excel.
Right.
So here I am busting my ass even harder by virtue of the fact that you've made it harder for me by beginning the process of retooling the offense for the days when I'm gone. I just don't know how much that motivation is going to translate into anything because they haven't given him the help that he needs to take it to the next level. I mean, there's nowhere to go but down for the Packers this year. 13-3, kind of an illusion last year. They kind of weren't that good. They kind of weren't a 13-3 team. Chris, I think you and I agree on that, and we saw the result when they crossed paths with the 49ers in the NFC Championship game and had a chance for that mulligan from the egg they laid. I remember going back to that Sunday night game in Santa Clara when the Packers lost there, and it was, a play here, a play there. They're actually not as far away as they are. And they're getting farther away, so that's going to be harder for Aaron Rodgers. All right, next one for me is Ezekiel Elliott. we've already seen and heard what he's had to say about the criticism, about the respect that he doesn't get. And you think about last year, he missed training camp. He was working out on his own while he was holding out for a new deal. And I think with all the talk about Dak Prescott and his money and the new coaching staff and CD Lamb and all that, I think Ezekiel Elliott is tremendously motivated to get back and have the kind of season to put him in line for that payday. And maybe he realizes in hindsight he would have had a better 2019 if he hadn't held out, but he had to hold out to get what he got. And now he's got to justify what he got, or he's not going to be getting it for much longer. I think we're going to see him come out just like we did in his first couple years in the NFL and really, really provide punch to that offense on the ground and open up the passing game for the Cowboys.
I hope so. We're probably one of those, or at least I am one of those guys that, maybe doesn't respect Ezekiel Elliott as much as I should, only because I expect a lot out of him because I see greatness in the guy. I do. I've already seen it. So that was what was bothering to me last year. Yeah, I hold him to a very high, what do I want to say? High bar. Yeah. He's the highest paid running back in football. He's got a good O-line, and I think he's extremely talented. And, what I want to just, like we talked about last year, we want to see more of, man, you're in the open field. It's you and one guy. You can't go down for the 18-yard gain there. That's got to be a 40-yard gain or a 50-yard gain or whatever it may be. And I think you're right. I think we're going to see a guy that's pretty pissed off and feels a little disrespected this year. So I'm with you. Man, there's so many to pick from, Mike. I'm going to stay at running back. I'm going to go with David Johnson, Houston Texans. I mean, how can he not be motivated? I mean, all anybody's done is talk crap about him for the last 2 years. It's not working in Arizona last year. What the hell is going on there? Gets traded for DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, people act like David Johnson's a garbage can. They traded DeAndre Hopkins for a garbage can? I think he's a guy that's going to be motivated by everything that he's hearing. $10 million a year for that guy? Billy O'Brien's crazy. Now, this is a guy that's extremely talented, had to deal with some injuries, then got involved with the, coaching change and not fitting the scheme and, being banged up and all that. So I got to think he's going to be ready to go and ready to show his A game this year.
It really is amazing that the Cardinals got the value they did. I mean, this was a ball and chain for them, that contract, and they used the transition tag on Kenyon Drake, and they clearly wanted to move on. But it's a new chapter. It's a new offense. It's a new opportunity for David Johnson, and I agree with you. He is going to be motivated. Last one for me is Derek Carr. It's got to be Derek Carr, right? We spent a lot of time last week talking about how he's tired of being disrespected. And, Chris, one thing you and I didn't discuss, because I think it happened after Thursday, Lincoln Kennedy, who does the Raiders radio broadcast, came out and said, hey, if you're feeling disrespected, play better.
Yeah.
It's time to put up or shut up. I suspect that Derek Carr is upset about that. Somebody who's under the family umbrella calling out Derek Carr, a former Raider, a guy who lit the fire last year for their home opener for the last time in Oakland. Lincoln Kennedy saying those things. It just shows that there is an expectation for Derek Carr that he hasn't lived up to. He better be motivated and be motivated. Play better. No more excuses. No more whining. Nothing other than going out and playing well, and we'll see if he's got the motivation. He's got the motivation. We'll see if he got the talent, the ability, the decision-making, the maturity to make that happen.
Yeah.
All right, we have the picks for today. Chris has Cam Newton, Aaron Rodgers, David Johnson. I've got Tom Brady, Ezekiel Elliott, and Derek Carr. There are plenty more guys who
Le'Veon Bell,
this year. That was just
Von Miller I could have gone with. There's a lot of good.
Dak
OBJ,
Prescott,
right.
Adrian Peterson's always highly motivated. Now that he's got an opportunity to be the number one guy in Washington, he'll be even more motivated. Phil Rivers. That we can go on and on, but we just did those six.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.